And what I'd like to do is introduce Rich Meeusen. Many of you know Rich. He's with Badger Meter and also is with the Water Council. And we just want to get a few comments and reaction from Rich.
Thank you. I think most of you have heard me talk about the Water Council, about what we're trying to accomplish here. So I'm going to consider this Water Council Phase 2, so you don't have to sit through Phase 1, which is the vision and why we're positioning ourselves this way. I think that's becoming very apparent to everybody. To me, Water Council Phase 2 is taking this to the next step. And this is talking about getting our organizations here to work together to really position ourselves as a head of water technology in the world. One of the things we're trying to do, and I'm going to get to training in a minute, but one of the things we're trying to do is we would like to get the chief decision makers of some of the world's largest water technology companies to come to Milwaukee, okay, and to see what we've got here and consider us as a place they might want to grow their businesses in the future. And along those lines, you know, I kind of came up with an analogy of how this is done, because I think this community, and you're going to have to forgive me, but I've been doing a lot of speaking this week, and I'm getting a little surly, and my CFO at lunch said, hey, you're getting a little surly. You got to be careful here now. You got a few more speeches to give today. And I said, okay, I'll try not to get too upset about this. But frankly, I think we've been doing some of our economic development wrong, okay? We've been, we have this image that we're going to send out 5,000 brochures that have a picture of Milwaukee on the cover, and a CEO is going to open it and look at it and go, by God, I'm moving my company to Milwaukee. That's a beautiful picture, okay? And I'm like, come on, I get these all day, every day. They go right in the garbage. It's a waste of time. Yesterday, my phone rings. I pick it up. Hello, I'm so-and-so from the Economic Development Commission of Virginia, and we would like you to consider moving your business here. And, well, thanks for the call, lady. Click. Okay, this is not the way you do economic development. This is not the way you do outreach to CEOs. This is very simple. The way you do outreach to CEOs, the way you contact the key decision makers and get them to really consider your area is the same. It takes 3 steps. And it's the same 3 steps you use to find a woman. Okay? And every guy knows these 3 steps. Okay? I'm sorry, but this is true. Now, for women to find a guy, it's 8 steps. It's much more complicated. For guys to find a woman, it's 3 steps. And it had to be 3 simple steps or the species would have died out, okay? Because we can't handle any more than that, all right? We're men. We can't make it too complicated. It's 3 steps. Step number 1, clean up your act. Get a job, some decent clothes, comb your hair, okay? Clean your apartment. That's step 1. It isn't too tough. Step 2, go where the decent women are, okay? Not the biker bars. Go to where some decent women are. And step 3, ask them for an opportunity to show them why you'd be a good guy, okay? Why you would be a good mate, why you would be a good person for them to date. Those are the 3 steps. Men have been using these steps ever since Og combed his hair with a fishbone and went in and asked some female cave person to come back to his cave, okay? These are the 3 steps, and they've worked for a long time. We all understand this. It's the same thing for getting CEOs to come to Milwaukee, okay? Step number 1, we clean up our act. What do we do to clean up our act? Well, we sure can't say to people we're the center of water technology if our rivers are polluted and our beaches are closed, can we? Okay? We've got to have a clean Bradford Beach, which we now have. We've got to have things together here. We also need to have the university working with the government, working with organizations like Wired, working all together with the industries to say this is an area that is friendly to water technology companies. You come here, we have something to offer you. Step number 2 is to go out and find the CEOs. Now, this is amazingly simple because I want you to imagine this vision. This is the vision I have. I have a vision of 3 nerds in their apartment, and they're huddled around the coffee table, and they are mapping out their strategy for how to meet women, okay? And while they're having this intense discussion, women are walking into their apartment, getting water out of the refrigerator and walking out, and they don't even notice it, okay? That's Milwaukee. I'm telling you, that's been Milwaukee for the last 20 years. Because every day, the chief decision makers of some of the largest water technology companies in the world are coming to this city, and we aren't talking to them. The women are coming to our apartment, and we're not talking to them, okay? This is ridiculous. I said to a guy from Pantera, I said, your C-level executives ever get here? He said, yeah, our CFO was here last week. I said, what did he do? He said, well, he flew into the airport at Mitchell. He had dinner alone at one of the hotels down by the airport, spent the night at the hotel, drove down to Delavan, spent the morning at the company, drove back and caught a flight out. I said to him, well, do you think you'd like to have dinner with our mayor? you think he'd like to maybe tour the Great Lakes Water Institute? You think he'd like to meet some of the people in Milwaukee who are trying to build this into a water technology center? The guy said, absolutely he'd like to do that. This is what we need to do. So as part of all of this effort, okay, yesterday I had extended an invitation to Veolia. Veolia is the largest water technology company in the world, located in Paris. And I extended an invitation and said, hey, if your C-level executives are ever coming to Milwaukee, we would love to show them around. And yesterday, Louis Hermon, and I can never pronounce French words. I'm really bad at French. Close enough, okay? Yeah, I try to pronounce all the letters, and that's a disaster in French. I mean, it is not Versailles, it's Versailles. You got to pronounce them all. But, so this Louis guy came, and he is the Chief Technology Officer of Veolia. And his job is to figure out where Veolia North America is going to locate things, how they're going to operate, what they're going to do here, probably looking for where to put a research facility. Pretty exciting stuff. And he's going to be the decision maker. So he came yesterday, and we gave him a tour of Badger Meter. Yesterday afternoon, the mayor and I, Carlos Santiago, we all met with him. We sat down. We told him what we've got to offer. We went through the whole thing. And I said to him, and one of the things I found out was he has visited other cities. But he visited other universities, okay? And I said to him, you know, you may have found other universities that want to work with Veolia. But what you didn't find was a city like Milwaukee where it isn't just the university. It's the university working with 120 water technology companies that have all gotten together and agreed to work together, working with a government that is friendly to water technology companies, working with nonprofit organizations, including environmental groups that want water technology companies here, and a city with a workforce that is specializing in water technology and is dedicated to growing that workforce, so you will never have a problem finding employees who know water technology. That was the sales pitch, right, Mayor? I mean, that was the sales pitch I made yesterday. If I would have had a contract, I would have had him sign it right there, okay? Always be closing. So that was the sales pitch, and that's a very powerful sales pitch for us. Now, the problem is, if I'm going to make that sales pitch, I need somebody to deliver, okay? Right. We got to deliver, all right? And the way we deliver, okay, one of the things we have to deliver on is this talent pool. We need to have the talent pool, and you don't get a talent pool by stealing each other's people. We need to go down to the grassroots, and we need to grow the talent pool from the bottom up. That's what we're focused on doing. Badger Meter and a lot of other water technology companies have already committed to doing summer internships for college students that want to study water. And you know what? I'm talking about not just engineers and scientists. I'm talking about, I went up to Whitewater, which is in the M7. It's Walworth County. Something we forget about Walworth County, but Walworth County is in the M7, thank God. Yes. And I remind people of that because you know what? One of the largest water technology companies around here is in Walworth County. You know, the old Stay Right, which is Pentair. So I went out to Whitewater and I said, I want you to join the Water Council. And they said, what can we do for you? And I was talking to Dick Telfer, the chancellor out there. And he said, what can we do for you? And I said, you're the largest business school in the state, something people don't realize. And I said, what would it mean if you graduated marketing students with an emphasis in water, finance students with an emphasis in water, economics students with an emphasis in water? I said, if you do that, I'll bring those students into our internship programs. Because you know what? I am sick and tired of having to do a national search whenever I want to hire a marketing person that understands water. I should be able to find that talent right here. And I am sick and tired of having to do a national search to find an engineer who understands water. That talent should be coming out of Milwaukee. And I know every other CEO of the 120 water companies in the city feel the same way. We need to grow that talent right here. Starting a School of Freshwater Sciences is a huge step in the right direction. Starting this internship program is a huge step in the right direction. We need to keep this program moving forward so we can deliver on that promise that if a water technology company locates here, they will have the talent pool that they need to support it. That's how we get water companies to come here. That's, by the way, and a side benefit, guys, that's how you pick up chicks, in case you're wondering. Okay, so I've given you two useful things today. But that's how we get them here, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay, thank you.